Thank you all for being here. My name's Jeff Ward, and my kids will tell you I'm not the least excitable person in the world. I get brought almost to tears when I see my favorite taco truck near our house. So I do get excited, but I woke up with an extra special excitement this morning because I knew that we had this happening and these people in this room and our set of rooms, and I feel kind of like I'm exploding with joy right now. So thank you all for being here. On behalf of the Duke Center on Law and Technology and also Digital Public, we're just really happy that you've taken the time to be here, to share with us. And when I say to share with us, we have the benefit of having an entire conference of people who have much to share. It's not just a few people sharing and a lot of people receiving. Rather, it's a whole bunch of really wonderful participants, and it feels like Christmas morning to me. If you are traveling from afar and jet-lagged, please ignore these. Ravi just pointed out that the London time does not help him to trick his brain, so thank you all for also getting an early start this morning. One of the things that the Duke Center on Law and Technology tries to do is to help ensure that law, policy, and governance tools help to make sure that emerging technologies do what we call empower and ennoble people. And toward that end, we're really excited to be focused in this area. And we also insist, as we focus in this area, that we don't get too academic, or at least not solely academic. We insist on at least two things: proximity to practice and real problems. And I think that's really important. And we also insist on a broadly inclusive set of stakeholders. I'm not saying when I say insist that we achieve that all the time. In fact, I think quite frankly we don't. But it's nonetheless really exciting to see a building coalition of a broad set of stakeholders confronting this issue. And I hope this is the beginning of a lot of this and a lot of collaboration. We're really thrilled to have the opportunity already to have worked with Digital Public on some projects and then to keep doing some things with them now. And I'll say more on that in a moment. Before I do, I wanted to thank some of our sponsors. Thank you so much to Covington and Burling. Covington and Burling has been a great supporter of the work that we do throughout, but they also are a primary sponsor of this conference, and we really appreciate it. The Digital Society, Civil Society Lab at Stanford, thank you so much to Lucy and others for being a partner in this. Element AI, got a chance to sit next to Mark last night. I don't know where he is, but there you are. Thank you so much. Enjoyed talking to you, and also just really appreciate the support and the role that you play in this field. And then Indiana's Ostrom Workshop, we're just really excited to have you as partners and collaborators moving forward. So again, the beginning of wonderful things. Beyond money, all these people have really been engaged in this issues of data governance, and so they're the ideal kinds of partners and collaborators. You'll get to hear from many folks from our sponsor organizations throughout the day. I'm just going to say a few things about this. So one is that when we first got together, that's Duke Center on Law and Technology and Digital Public, and said, let's do this, we imagined kind of a large workshop. And that's kind of true, but it ended up being an oversubscribed conference, meaning that we found this space. We're like, let's do it at the Duke and DC space. It should make it easier for some people. But the Duke and DC space is not built for how many people ended up registering. And we had to put a lot of people on a wait list who weren't able to come. And we felt bad about that. But the one compromise we could make is that we decided, rather than using the comfort code capacity of people here, we decided to use the fire code capacity and let as many in as we could. And so if you feel a little snug today, think of it as an opportunity to make new friends. We also, you might even want to think of it as a simulation of privacy violations so that you can feel what that feels like. But we really are happy about how many people were engaged and wanted to be here, and we hope that the next time that we do this, we'll do it in a way that it incorporates even a broader set of voices. So thank you. We have 6 people here in addition to, so Sean and Keith and Isabel, who's out front. We have 6 fellows from Duke University, the School of Law, who are able to help you. Actually, could you all just raise your hand for those who are in here, our students and fellows? Yep, and then Sarah's in the back. Yep, they're all here. So throughout the day, if you need directions, if you need anything, they can help you, and I just wanted to highlight that. Some of the things that you might need directions to, bathrooms are just out the door and to the left. You'll walk down the hall and immediately come upon these single bathrooms. Know that those aren't the only bathrooms. If you keep walking, there's a larger set of bathrooms around the corner, and that's really important, especially if you're traveled from afar and are drinking lots of coffee. The other thing that's you might want to know is if you need to take a phone call or anything like that, there are some rooms reserved past the food, the hallway there. There are rooms on the right, and any of those that are open, you're welcome to go in there, use the room, those kinds of things. You're all very busy working professionals, and we understand that you might need to do some things throughout the day. There is also a lactation room. One of those rooms that's able to be used, the last one, has curtains and can be totally private, and it's available for you, for anybody who needs it. The last thing that I wanted to say about logistics is that we are using the space. It's a busy space, and we found out pretty late in the game that they actually were sold in the space downstairs. And the law firm Hogan Lovells stepped in very graciously and very near the last minute and let us use their space. So the first breakout session, two sessions today, one of them will be in here, but the other two will actually be, you just walk downstairs around the corner. It's a 2-minute walk to this beautiful space at Hogan Lovells, and they graciously allowed us to use that space. The later breakout sessions, the last two, will all be back here, in again, in this room, and then downstairs. The student fellows and others can help you to direct you there. All right, with that, I think we have enough logistics. Any logistics questions? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Sean McDonald, who's going to introduce our very, very exciting keynote speaker. So thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. We actually have the opportunity to do a couple of things really quickly, one of which is to express exuberance and excitement that you're here. The thing that we're hoping to do today is build, certainly the community and helping you all see the similarities in each other's work, but also build a research agenda, because we have some resources and some initiative where we can start to make progress and we can apply to the questions that we all have and the ones that we share today. So with that, actually, it is also a great privilege to announce a research partnership between the Ostrom Workshop at the University of Indiana, the Digital Civil Society Lab at Stanford, the University of Western Australia, obviously, and Duke Center for Law and Technology. And all of these kind of cornerstone institutions are committing to hosting fellows and doing research against the agenda that we build today and that we publish as the output of this event. So there will be very real work that goes against this and resources that go into kind of using this as the foundation of a community of learning. In addition to that, in the first quarter of next year, we'll be announcing a fellowship program where we will pair and place fellows both with academic institutions and with practitioner organizations, so people who are wrestling with really interesting data governance problems. So today is kind of very much a real kickoff, and we are so excited that you as a group of practitioners and scholars and policymakers and otherwise contributors to this space are helping us identify what the key sticking points are with your own input and contribution. So thank you, and also we're announcing a partnership, so that's all really quite exciting. And with that, it is my great pleasure to get out of the way and welcome you to hear from some of the most interesting and exciting people doing work in this space, and that is you all. But our first presenter and our first keynote is Andrea Downing, who is the co-founder of the Light Collective and has been the very vision of a modern advocate in digital spaces. And there's this idea of community data organizing, but I think that Andrea has helped define that kind of face first and rabbit by barrier in this way that has been very hard won, but very inspiring at every step of the way. And Ravi Naik, who's also someone who I'm a huge nerd for his work, but he is a strategic impact litigator who's probably, are you most famous for Cambridge Analytica, or is that just the beginning of famous? That's the crowd. That's the crowd pleaser. Okay, so Ravi's greatest hits start with Cambridge Analytica, but he's gone on to do some other really incredible and exciting things, which he'll tell you about. So without further ado, welcome to the Data Governance Design Conference.